let's move on. As the Kings look to get number one, if you ask Chris Watkins, they're going to need to do it by making this roster better. And the easiest way to make the roster better is by drafting correctly. And the Yahoo NBA mock draft is out, Chris. I'll throw it to you to break down who's going ahead of the Kings and who the Kings are going to select.
Yes. Real quick here. Yeah, this is from yahoo.com. And it is a new name that we have not discussed before. I don't think at all. This person was in, I think, for a workout here recently. But that's all that we've really seen from them. Number one, going Zachary Reese-Sachet. Number two, going Washington Wizards, Alex Sarr. And I was telling you earlier yesterday that I've been hearing a lot of whispers that the Atlanta Hawks could potentially flip everything, just like everything was in that Keegan Murray draft when Orlando took Paolo Banchero, and that seemingly came out of nowhere the day of. Hearing a lot of Donovan Clingan hype at number one these days. This mock draft has him going number 3 to Houston, number 4, Stephon Castle going to San Antonio, number 5, Mateus Buzelis going to Detroit, number 6, Reed Shepherd going to the Charlotte Hornets, number 7, Cody Williams. That's really high for him. Number 8, talk about really high, Tajon Salon going number 8 to the San Antonio Spurs. Number 9, Memphis Grizzlies taking Dalton Connect. 10, Devin Carter, against just seems to be cementing himself in that top 10. Number 11, Khalil Ware going to Chicago Bulls. Number 12, Jacoby Walter going to the OKC Thunder. That's a lot of fan favorites off the board before the Kings even select. And with that 13th selection, the Sacramento Kings in this Yahoo NBA mock draft are taking Carlton Carrington, freshman guard that is, out of Pittsburgh, 6'5", 190. And the write-up in Yahoo is Carrington was projected a mid to late first-round pick all season and has catapulted to the lottery during workouts and team meetings. He has great size and is so productive offensively, playing on or off the ball. His shot selection needs some fine-tuning, but there's a lot of teams in that 10 to 20 range that love his I think they meant upside. And that's somebody who, again, is seemingly climbing up draft boards. If I'm looking at his scouting profile, his strengths are his shiftiness and agility. Bub has that elusive, hard-to-guard movement that keeps defenders guessing. His size and scoring at 6'5" and a solid wingspan. He's built for scoring from anywhere, close, mid-range, or beyond the arc. He's a clutch scorer, not just a scorer. Bub knows how to take and make the big shots when it counts. His shot mechanic is also a strength. Creativity off screens, rebounding and transition, and defensive potential. Some of his weaknesses are his shot selection, his consistency, hero ball tendencies, and physicality. The NBA comparison is Bub's game has shades of
I was going to guess.
D'Angelo Russell's
and I was not going to guess that.
Scoring touch, Anthony Simons's explosive play, and a bit of Marshawn Brooks' style. He's a scorer through and through, but will need to round out his game to truly make it in the big league. And after reading that, that just tells me that yet again, Alan, we have stumbled on a Malik Monk replacement selection. That's what I'm reading from that. That just reads as, hey, you need a 6-man who's just going to come in, go crazy. He might shoot you in the game. He might shoot you out of a game, but he's definitely a scorer through and through. I don't hate it. I don't love it. He's 6'5", so maybe he could play shooting guard, maybe slide over to the 3 in some cases. I haven't seen a lot of Bub Carrington. Again, this is the first time we've seen him mock to the Kings, so I don't know a ton about him.
I mean, he's cooking.
But off the read, it seems like he is just an unafraid scorer. And a lot of times those guys will find some sort of role in the NBA, kind of dude who's definitely going to cook during summer league. And, it sounds like maybe as a floor, we're talking about like a taller Cam Thomas, which is intriguing to me. I haven't really watched his game much, but definitely sounds like the kind of guy who just lights up a scoreboard. And maybe he can become like a Jordan Clarkson or like a Malik Monk scorer off the bench.
Chris, real quick, just because we're talking about guards, remind me, did you say Rob Dillingham?
No, he was not in that. He is mocked somewhere in there, but no, not before the Sacramento Kings pick. So they actually pass on Rob Dillingham. And in this mock draft, they have Rob Dillingham going 16 to the Philadelphia 76ers, pairing him with fellow Kentucky backcourt mate, I guess you could say. What is his name?
Tyrese?
Tyrese Maxey. Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I initially thought that player comparison was going to be, Tyrese Maxey, but for Bub Carrington. But yeah, the Dillingham slide is wild, Chris. It's kind of crazy to think. I mean, and you got Bub Carrington going at 6'5". I just think that's ultimately the issue with Rob Dillingham. These smaller guards, you're hoping you get a Darius Garland, and even so, at that point, that's a 2.
Yeah,
that's a 2 as far as being the option on the team. So we'll get into more of that and why. It's not that I agree, but I'm starting to see a path to the Kings drafting a guard. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael